So when it comes to dealing with narcissistic people, 1 minute it can seem like they are really into you and they really care about you. And usually in this moment, this is when a narcissist is getting their needs met by you. When they are getting what they want from you, they seemingly act like they care about you. And perhaps they do care about you in that moment because they're getting what they want from you. And then at some point they shift on you, and all of a sudden it seems like they don't understand you, like they're unwilling to listen to you. And this is when it is no longer about the narcissist, when the narcissist is no longer getting what they want, when the narcissist is no longer getting the attention that they believe they're entitled to, when the narcissist is no longer getting the possessions they believe they're entitled, when the narcissist is no longer getting their own way. They lack the object consistency to then care about you. When there is conflict, when there is disagreements, when things aren't going the narcissist's way, they lack the empathy, they lack the object consistency to care about you. Therefore, they will not be listening to you. They will not be thinking about how their behaviour affects you. They'll be thinking about themselves. And if they feel like you're stopping them from getting their sense of entitlement met, then they are going to seek a way to punish you. And this is nothing that you've done. This is built upon their past experience, their past pattern of behaviour, the way they think that life should go for them. And when life isn't going the way they believe it should go for them, they look for somebody else to blame. And when life hasn't gone the way they wanted it to go, they look for somebody else to blame. Narcissistic people can be some of the most hard done to people you can ever meet. However, it's quite confusing because a narcissist can act one way around one person and another way around another person. They can be extremely secretive. They usually have one person that they tell on themselves to. How they tell on themselves varies from narcissist to narcissist, whether they make a joke out of their behaviour, whether they brag and boast about their behaviour. They usually find a way to tell on themselves to somebody. They can tell on themselves by claiming that somebody else has done something that the narcissist is actually doing, telling the story as a third person to somebody, yet to another person they'll not want them knowing that information, so they'll be very secretive around that person. And they might not want the two people to meet, because if the two people meet, then the narcissist's lies are going to be exposed. So when it comes to dealing with narcissistic people, they do need at least 5 of the 9 criteria, and one of those criteria is their lack of empathy. And there's various signs that somebody lacks empathy. However, with a narcissist, it's not always that obvious. So we have to start looking for other things, such as they are always right. A narcissist always has to be in the right, making other people the ones in the wrong. So when your opinion differs to a narcissist, when your reality differs to a narcissist is no longer going to care for your opinion. They're no longer going to care for your thoughts. They're no longer going to care for your feelings. They're going to be thinking about themselves, and they're going to be thinking about ways to prove themselves right at all costs to your emotional well-being. Because to a narcissist who is always right, being wrong is unimaginable to them. If they're wrong, that's not their fault. That's somebody else's fault. Somebody else made them do it. It's nothing to do with them, because they are always right. They will refuse to admit fault. And because they always have to be right, because they always refuse to admit fault, they will refuse to listen to other people's thoughts, feelings and opinions. Which is why often, because they don't want to hear it, a narcissist can then rage out at you to shut you down, or a narcissist can fall silent on you to shut you down. Because to a narcissist, they're always right. The more you try to get a narcissist to see your reality, the more you try to get a narcissist to understand how they've made you feel, the more annoyed that narcissist is going to get at you, the less empathy they're going to have towards you, the more they're going to seek to punish you for trying to call them out on their behaviour. Narcissistic people are oblivious to other people's feelings. A narcissist will stand there and watch you cry with a glint in their eye over the pain they have caused you. No remorse. Instead, they'll find a way to shift all the blame onto you for the pain you are in, to distract you from the fact that it's their actions that's caused the pain. A narcissist will go all out. If they're in the wrong about something, they will go all out to provoke emotional reactions within you so that they can blame you. With some narcissists, this is intentionally done. This is calculatedly done. They will cunningly find a plan to frustrate you, to cause that resentment in you, to get you to react to them. And this is all the evidence a narcissist needs it within their own mind that you are at fault due to your emotional reactions towards them. And those with empathy, those who take responsibility for their behaviour, this is usually all the evidence they need that they're the ones that are causing the problem when they're not causing the problem, because without the narcissist's actions, you wouldn't be having those emotional reactions. With other narcissists, it's instinctive, it's default, it's in their subconscious mind that because they always have to be right, they're that busy proving themselves right, they're that oblivious to your feelings that they fail to recognise the frustration and the anger they're causing within you. You just react to them and they don't see how they've led to your reaction. They just believe that you're the one that's going crazy, which is why those narcissists can be as equally as dangerous. The ones that know what they're doing and they lack the empathy to care. The ones that don't know what they're doing are as equally as dangerous and they still lack the empathy to care. One big giveaway that a narcissist or someone that you're dealing with lacks empathy is they are insensitive to your feelings. If you try to discuss something with them, whether it's something they've done to you or not, if it's something they've done to you, they're going to turn around and say that you're being too dramatic, you're too sensitive, you're imagining things, you have trust issues, you're insecure. They're going to gaslight you to blame your emotions, you're jealous. And more often than not, because a narcissist doesn't want to admit fault, they have provoked these feelings within you. Narcissistic people, if they're feeling insecure about something, if they're feeling jealous about something, they will find a way to provoke that jealousy within you. And then when you go to discuss it with them, because they lack the empathy to care about you, they're going to accuse you of being jealous as being the problem, to distract you from the fact that their behaviour is causing you to feel jealous, and it's their behaviour that's the problem, to feel better about themselves because they felt jealous about something. If you go to discuss something with them that's not what the narcissist has done, it's an outside situation that's got you all up in your feels. A narcissist, because they require that excessive attention, they're going to suddenly bring it all back onto themselves, how they've had it far worse than you, how something happened to them years ago, and they're not doing it in a way to have that two-way conversation, to relate to what's happening, to explain they understand what you're going through. They don't want to understand what they're going through, what you're going through. They want you to take care of them, because to a narcissist, it is all about them. Anything that goes wrong within your life is your fault. Whether the narcissist was the root cause to that issue or not, is going to be your fault. Anything that goes wrong within the narcissist's life is going to be your fault. Whether you cause them an issue or not, it is going to be your fault. A narcissist is always looking for somebody else to blame so that they don't have to take responsibility for their behaviour, so that they're not held accountable for their behaviour, so that there's no consequences for their behaviour. Therefore, because they don't take responsibility, they do not change their behaviour. It's a learned pattern of behaviour that they've programmed into their subconscious, or somebody else has programmed into their subconscious over a long period of time, and it is who they are. It doesn't make it right, but it's who they are. Narcissistic people can be some of the most argumentative people you can ever meet because they lack the empathy to care for how that argument affects you. They will create conflict, drama and chaos. They will create arguments to stop you from doing the things that you enjoy doing because they lack the empathy to care about you doing what makes you happy. They're all about themselves. They want you to do what makes them happy. However, to distract you from them causing the problems, they're going to turn around and say, I don't want to argue with you right before you need to discuss something important, so that when they turn it into a mass argument, they can blame you, when in reality it's their lack of empathy. It's the fact that they're unwilling to discuss your thoughts, feelings and opinions because to them they're always right and you're always wrong, because they simply don't recognise the pain they cause others. And those that do recognise the pain they cause others, most narcissists don't recognise the pain they cause others. They believe the other person caused that pain or brought it on themselves. Those who do cause pain to others and recognise that they've caused pain to others are usually the more malignant narcissist that does it on purpose and gets a kick out of causing other people's misery. That's usually when you'll see that little smirk on their face, when their true intentions, when their true motives, when their true feelings are showing for a moment within that smirk on their face. Usually though, a narcissist will justify this by making out that you've done something to them so that you deserve that mistreatment, when nobody deserves that mistreatment. Abuse is abuse and there is no excuse. One major red flag that somebody lacks empathy is they lack compassion, not only for the situation you might be in with them, but also for other people. They get a delight out of other people's downfall, as narcissists usually are quite envious. When they see somebody else fail, they get pleasure out of someone else's failings, so they might gloat about somebody else's misfortune, which shows that they lack empathy. If somebody is needing support in some way, they will find a way to put that person down or bring it onto themselves, how they've had to do everything for themselves, which shows that they lack the empathy for the other person and they're more interested in themselves. And when it comes to a narcissist and lacking empathy, they find it incredibly difficult to maintain healthy relationships. A narcissist is more than capable of maintaining a relationship with someone through various forms of control or through culture, where you live, how you're raised, how things should be done, making it difficult for the other person to leave the relationship. So narcissists can maintain relationships. Children can maintain a relationship with a narcissistic parent because the narcissistic parent has they've conditioned the child into being obligated, into being there for their parents. So narcissistic people can maintain relationships. What they struggle with is maintaining healthy relationships, because anything that goes wrong within that relationship, a narcissist doesn't want to discuss with that other person. They want to blame that other person. They want to shame the other person. They want to criticize and judge the other person. They want to rage out at that person to feel better about themselves. They want to provoke negative emotions within that person to take the negative emotions away from themselves. So narcissistic people, those who lack empathy, struggle with maintaining healthy relationships. Any signs you've noticed in a narcissist that they lack in empathy, as there are many of them, please do add those into the comments. I shall add the video in the description on the narcissist and the lack of empathy, which explains more. Thank you very much for listening. If you are looking for further help and support in overcoming and understanding narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. I have also partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is also in the description. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.